Hello guys and welcome to Laravel 9 tutorials. So guys, in this video we are going to discuss about how can we implement Google login functionality in Laravel 9. As you can see, I have already created a notepad file right here so that you can understand the whole procedure better. Okay, so let's start and let's move to step number 1, which says that we need to create a fresh Laravel project. And in any case, let's say you want to use an existing project, you can, it's totally up to you. But in my case, I'm going to create a fresh Laravel project. So let's access git bash and I'm going to access htdocs. So cdc xam htdocs. Okay, and since I have Laravel globally installed, I can simply use Laravel new Google, which is project name. So I'm going to assign Google 1 as a project name. Why? Because I already have a project with the name Google, as I was using that specific project for the Hindi Urdu lecture. So let's hit enter, and this command is going to take some time to execute. So I'm just going to pause the video to save some time. Okay guys, so now we have our fresh Laravel project in place. So let's move to second step, which says we need to configure the database and create the database. So yeah, first of all, let's access our project directory. So cd Google 1. Okay, let's open our project in Sublime. So file, open folder, htdocs, Google 1 right here. Okay, let's move to env. So Laravel is going to assume the same name by which we have our Laravel project. Yeah, so let's move to php myadmin. Let's create a fresh Laravel project, database Google 1. Okay, create. So now we have our database in place as well. I think, let me check if I have it running or no. Yeah, so now we have our database. I don't know why it got stuck. Okay, so anyhow, we have our database in place. Let's move to Notepad. Step number 3. It says that we need to have the Laravel UI. So yeah, let's just copy this command, copy and paste it on the git bash. Once again, this command is going to take some time for the execution, so I'm just going to pause the video. Okay guys, so it's done. Now let's move to second command of step number 3, which by which we are going to have the auth. So yeah, so git bash, let's run the second command just like that. Okay, now let's copy the third command because we need to run the wheat server. So copy and paste it right here. Okay, now in order to follow the remaining procedure, I need to access I need to have another instance of git bash. Why? Because right here we are going to run the wheat server. So yeah, let's open new instance of git bash and let's access the project directory. So cdc xam htdocs Google 1. Okay, yeah, let's move forward. Step number 4, run the migration. Okay, so add the additional field Google ID. So let's do that. Let's move to Sublime and let's access database, migration, users table, and right here let's create a new column, $table string, and let's say Google underscore ID, just like that, and it should be nullable, just like that. Okay, let's move to password. I'm going to assign the password as nullable as well. Why? I will tell you in the later part. Okay, let's move forward and let's assign this Google underscore ID as a fillable property. So let's move to app models, user model, and right here, so let's pass Google underscore ID just like that. Okay, let's move to Notepad and step number 5, which says that we need to install Socialite package. So let's just copy this command. So copy, let's move to git bash new instance right here. I'm going to paste it, and once again this command is going to take some time, so I'm just going to pause the video to save some time. Okay guys, so it's done. Let's move forward. Step 6 says that we need to register this Socialite package. This step is optional, but anyhow I'm going to do that. Let's move to config app.php, Sublime. So config app.php. Let's move to provider side right here and let's just paste it. Okay, and we will align it later because I need to copy one more line right here because we need to put the alias of this. So yeah, so sorry for that. So once again I'm just going to copy and assign it in the alias field right here just below it. Okay, let's align this. Yeah, so it's done. Okay, let's move to Notepad and step number, let's say 7. So it says that we need to get the Google client ID, client secret, and we need to define the app URL. But first of all, for that we need to log in or sign up to the Google Dev Console. The full form would be Google Developer Console. So yeah, before that I'm just going to let's say configure this array in the config services. So let's move to Sublime. Okay, and services right here. Okay, just like that. Okay, so guys, let me just tell you, right here I'm going to put my Google client ID, and client secret would go here, right here, and this is the redirection URL. So just keep a note on that let's say if you are running your project on port 8000, you need to change it to 8000. I am usually running my project on port 8080. Why? Because I have my database running on port 8000. So that's why. So you need to define the correct port right here on which you are going to run your project. It's totally up to you. It could be 8000, 8080 or anything. Okay. So yeah, just keep that in mind and change it accordingly. So now let's move to Google Developer Console. So let me show you the step. How can you get the Google client ID and client secret? So search for Google Developer Console just like that. Okay. So I already have an account here and I am already logged in. So yeah, I'm just going to show you the procedure. How can you create a project? How can you get the credentials and what you need to do? Okay. So yeah, guys. So first of all, when you log in or sign in to the Google Developer Console, you are going to get a link, something that would say, let's say create a project, something like that. Let me show you right here. Okay, so if you cannot find it here, I am sure that it should be somewhere here, but in my case I already have a project, so that's why I'm able to see it right here. Okay, so what you need to do is, see, I have a testing project as well, so let me show you with the help of this. So once you are able to create the fresh project, then you have to move to credentials part right here. Okay, now right here you need to click on create credentials, but for that you need to have the auth consent screen. Why? Let me show you. So click on create credentials, then move to or select the auth, or you can say whatever. I think it's auth. Okay, so yeah, click on auth client ID. Okay, and you can see it says to create an auth client ID, you must first configure your consent screen. Okay, so to get the credentials for the client ID, what you need to do is you need to configure this. So you can click right here as well. So click right here. Okay. Then you cannot select internal. Why? Reason being, right here you can see the pop-up. It defines everything. So you need to select external, create. I'm not going to go through the complete step because it's fairly simple. So define the app name here, email here, and if you want to put logo, you can just assign it right here. These are, for now, these are, let's say, optional. So yeah, you can just click save and continue. You need to define email address right here. So these are 3 or 4 steps. You need to complete that. Once you are done, you can simply move to credentials part and you can click the credentials, and that's it. So let me move to my Laravel project. Okay, so yeah, once consent screen is done, you just need to click on credentials. Okay, click on create credentials and it is going to create something like that for you. Okay, so I'm just going to click. If you need to get the Google client ID or client secret, you just need to click on edit, just like that. Okay. So right here you will be able to find client ID, client secret. That's it. Next task is you need to define authorized JavaScript origins. Actually, you need to pass the URL, and the URL right here would be your application URL. So in this case, http://localhost:8080. Remember to change the port to whatever you are using. It's totally up to you. If you are using 8000, you need to assign 8000. Then the second most important part is you need to assign the callback function, which is right here. Okay, so you can just copy it right here. Just remember to change the port according to your need, whatever you are using. So yeah, you need to assign it right here and then just save it. Okay, so now I can simply get my client client and client secret and client ID from right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause the video so that I don't have to edit the video again and again. So yeah, I'm just going to implement these credentials, client ID to client ID, secret to secret. Okay, so yeah, let me complete this step. Okay guys, so I have configured my services.php. Let's move to Notepad and let's move forward. Now I need to create a social controller. So let's move to git bash and I'm going to do php artisan make controller social controller. Okay. Now I can simply copy and paste the logic or code logic right here. I have implemented everything for you so that we can save some time. Okay, so just copy everything from right here, step number 8, and just move to social controller. Right here, copy everything and paste it right here. Okay, just like that. So we will discuss this part, the code logic, just after we are done with the implementation. So yeah, let's move forward. Let's move to step number 9, which says we need to copy the routes. So copy, let's move to web.php. Okay, and right here, let's paste it. And let's move to step number 10, which says that we need to create or have the anchor that will be representing login with Google. So let's move to resources, views, auth, login, and just below the password, I'm just going to copy and paste that div right here. Okay, so now we need to run this, but if you remember, we didn't run our migration, so that's the most important part. That's what we need to do right now. So php artisan migrate. Okay, so we have our database and tables in place. Okay, so it's done. Now we can simply run our project. So php artisan serve port 8080, just like that. Okay, let's move to Google and let's access our project just like that. Let's move to login link. Okay guys, so done. Let's click on this link and let's see what happens. So login with Google. Okay guys, so now we are logged in using our Google account. So we didn't see any sort of form. Why? Because my Google account is already logged in, so that's why I didn't need to do anything. Okay, in your case, if your Google account is not logged in, you need to log in to your Google account and then you will be redirected to your home page. So now let's discuss what happened. Let's move to database first, Google, and let's access the user table. So users right here. So now you can see we have our Google ID, name from the Google account, email from the Google account, and we don't have any password. Why? Because I have commented out the password section in the logic social controller right here. So let's say if in any case you want the password to be mandatory, you just need to create the password on your own. So in that case, I'm just going to show you this once again so that you can see the password with the help of password. So yeah, let's access our project once again because now we don't have any account. So login again, login with Google, and this time we should have a password. So we are successfully logged in. Let's move and let's refresh user table. Okay, so now you have the password as well. Okay, yeah, so that's how you can do it. So I'm just going to comment it out. So let's discuss what's going on right here. So let's start with the login grid. So whenever you are going to click on this URL or anchor tag, which is going to URL auth Google. So let's see what we have in auth Google. Let's move to web.php. Okay, so with the help of URL auth Google, we are actually hitting social controller specific method. The name is Google redirect. So let's move to that. And right here, it says that what you need to do is actually when we are coming or when we are hitting this method, we are actually using Socialite driver and in this case Google driver, and then we are just redirected. So here what happens, let's say if you click on the login with Google, you are going to see a form. If you are not logged into your Google account, you are going to see the form, and then after filling that specific form, you will be redirected. So with the redirect, if you remember, we already discussed that we are going to hit this route. Let me show you the one that we described in our services.php. So with the help of this callback route, we are going to be redirected from here to our callback function. So in that case right here, auth Google callback. With the help of this method, we are going to hit social controller method login with Google. So let's see this. Okay, so right here I have a try and catch. So just in case if you see any error exception, you can just simply resolve it. Okay, let's move forward again with the same. Again, I'm using Socialite driver right here, and I'm assigning stateless. This is not going to maintain the with the help of stateless, you are not going to maintain any browser history or browser state actually. Okay, so yeah, with the help of stateless, sometimes it is mandatory to use stateless. Okay, so again, with the help of social driver, we are accessing the Google account. Once you fill the form, it is going to save everything. Okay, and we are assigning each and every information of your Google account right here into this variable $user. Then we are checking if we have this specific user in our database or no with the help of logic. User where Google ID is equals to this user ID first. If we were able to find it, this means that this specific user is an existing user. So we are creating a check. If this is an existing user, what you need to do is you just need to log this specific user in and redirect to HomeBlade. If not, if this user is not an existing user, what you need to do is you need to create the user, which we did in our case. Let me show you the database right here. Okay, so in this case, we were not an existing user. So create user create name would be the name that is saved right here in this variable using the Google account. So name would be username, email would be Google email, which we use right here. Google ID would be again the Google credentials that you have. We are going to get the Google ID from that as well. And password, we were creating it on our own. It's not necessary if you are logging in with any social app. Okay. After that, after creating the user, we are simply authenticating the user and redirecting to HomeBlade or page, you can say. Okay, so yeah guys, that's it, and that's the whole procedure. So I hope you guys like this video because now you will be able to implement Google login functionality in your projects. So yeah guys, that's it from this specific video. I hope you guys like this video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you, take care, and yes guys, be ready for the next one. Okay, take care.